Frozen. So we're at a recess at 7:06.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, John.
Thank you. Stephanie, you took a moment to review.
I did. And so I think we're close, but I'm stuck on the not only no sibling noted for the bereavement or for family illness, but I am also a stepmother. And yes, I am also a grandmother. So in the other contracts that are within our own districts, family members include all of those people. I no longer have grandparents, so grandparents sadly don't need to be a part of my contract.
Right.
I do have those other family members. And, you know, I know that this is a meeting to discuss my contract, not my performance at all or my past practice, but I do not have a practice of taking family illnesses.
Yeah.
And I've lost one family member. Well, that's not true. I've lost a few, but I mean, obviously the bereavement is something that's very serious and would be a much more significant thing. But I arrange at my own personal expense, of course, for care for my own child, so that for typical illnesses, I am not taking a day off of work.
Right.
So we're really talking about the sort of special circumstances that would require my presence, which I think are unusual and more rare.
Mhm.
And my family includes more people than my spouse, my parent, and my child. So I ask that boards consider the addition of those other categories.
And I will say, sort of not obviously not speaking through, you know, because of conversation, but my own personal belief is sort of stepchildren are children, you know. So, you know, I think we can talk about that, and we can, you know, figure out our position. I don't think that, you know, these are wild requests that you're making. Grandchildren, stepchildren, and siblings, and I think we just need to discuss and figure out, you know, whether or not we can all come to an agreement on that. Outside of that, is there anything else that we should touch on?
I don't think there is. You've made it clear that the no payout for vacation days is something that you are set on. I will tell you that while this year is unusual, it is also unusual for me to be able to take all of my vacation days, because I simply would not be able to relax on vacation when there is important work that needs to be done in the districts. So it is normal practice for me to at least hold over some days. So, I mean, this year is obviously unusual, but it's simply not possible to come anywhere close to using my vacation days. So it's disappointing because I don't think it's an incentive to get additional money. It's just the reality of the demands of our jobs and a need to carry over. So I would ask the boards to consider additional carryover days. Again, there's no way that we can use them. It's not practical given the responsibilities of our job. But it is unfortunate because it's providing some compensation for the demands and the many hours that we all put in. And frankly, you all are putting in the hours as well in your volunteers. So I thank you and I appreciate that.
Thank you. This is actually a topic that I've spent a lot of time dealing with at work, in my work, getting to the point where we have executives who are taking those days. And there are a lot of components involved. There is let's not incentivize, that, but also let's create an environment in which it's possible for people to take those days. If we give the days, people should be able to take those days. We've recently been spending a lot of time and energy thinking about how we're sequencing out the calendar of sort of major events for the year and making sure that we're doing everything possible to plan to the nth degree, everything that we can do so that things are lined up and streamlined, and that we don't have wasted meetings, that we don't have sort of all those things that may contribute to the sort of the chaos and, sort of the sort of drag on your time. So that if we can be more efficient, then perhaps you can feel a greater sense of, confidence that when you step away, you can really just be on vacation, right? Like, be disconnected and know that, sort of nothing's on fire. So I actually don't think of this as something that is just, we turn off the switch on that and, that's all we have to do. I actually think doing this is a part of a commitment that we need to make to create a better environment that you feel confident that you can take those days. And, I, for one, sort of, I am signing up for that. Like, whatever we can do to make ourselves all more efficient, like we're trying to do that.
So with that in mind, I might suggest that since that's not going to revert back, that there be some change to the wording. Again, not suggesting that this would become typical practice, but it says in D, under 6 benefits, that the assistant superintendent may utilize no more than 5 consecutive days when any of the 3 schools are in session. I might add, except with the approval of the superintendent.
Okay. I'm just noting that here for myself. I think that's I think that's something we can take under sort of consideration, and we will. We'll look at that and discuss that, and then I think we need to look at and discuss sort of the sort of definition of sort of close family, and whether or not we're comfortable including siblings, grandchildren, stepchildren for the purposes of both the sort of sick days and bereavement.
Thank you.
Good. All right. So we are at 7:14 p.m. I think, because we're talking about these only these 2 issues, I would suggest that we sort of move to executive session to discuss and come back with the goal that we're only going for, I hope, no more than 10 minutes. If I'm not, again, being overly optimistic about the time. What's the sense from the board, from committee members? Do we think we can do a 10-minute executive session?
I think so.
I can go all night.
I know, but I would.
I
prefer
checked
not
that
to,
off the
Mike.
bingo card right now. There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah. So, Dr. Pearson, you all, if you're comfortable sort of giving us 10 minutes, then perhaps we can come back and have a tentative agreement.
Then I move that we enter executive session at 7:15 p.m. to discuss the draft contract of terms of employment for the assistant superintendent.
Good. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jeff. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Unanimous.